यही जमीन तब भी थी, आसमां भी था यही, नहीं जो था वो मेरा मन और हृदय की रोशनी, कहीं मिला सका नहीं नजर में अपने आप से, मैं खुद से भागता रहा, यहाँ वहाँ वहाँ यहाँ। शफा शफा शफा।
It's called lapse. One is called full-blown relapse. Lapse is having one drink. Full-blown is having drinking from all day. Binge drinking all day. And full-blown is when you wake up in the morning, your hands are shaking. Did you experience that?
I did.
They call it delirium, right?
Right.
Yeah. Or if you are heroin and you're so looking for money, you grab a chain and you run, that's full-blown relapse. So that's why he says, if it happens to you, get help. Immediately. Immediately. Because a lapse can change into a relapse fast.
Faster.
You want me to give you an example of that? Yes?
Yes.
Are you guys listening or not?
Yes.
Is this information interesting?
Yes.
Yeah. You have to know about this information. You know why? Because it's about you. I'm not talking about Olympics, right?
Yes.
I'm not talking about Miss India. I'm talking about relapse. Okay, so how many of you know what's called the Chinese silk?
Chinese silk.
Silk. Anybody knows?
Never heard of.
How do you say silk in In China, there is this cloth, silk. It comes from the butterfly,
From the cocoon.
from the cocoon.
Right.
It is as expensive as gold. It's very difficult to get the pure silk,
Right.
100% silk. And it's not done by machine, it's done by hand. Right? And according to people, they say, this cloth, every line is connected to the other line. You pull one line out, everything is dropped. You understand or not? Okay. Your recovery is like that. You pull one out,
One straight.
everything will collapse. That's a metaphor. Got it?
Yes.
So you use one time, the whole, you're waking up the giant inside you. I'll show you that afterwards, okay, if I have time. All right. Let's move on. Now we talk about triggers, right? These are all triggers. Okay? Now, do you remember the lemon?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So if there's no lemon and still there's a trigger, what do you think about that? Right? So if you are in this kind of places, then the trigger will begin, the craving will start, and if you're not ready, you're done. Okay? All right. This is another trigger. You see that building?
Yes.
In America, most drug addicts, that's the basement.
Basement, yeah.
That's the subculture. Right? If you go into that building, you will see condom and needles all over there. People are getting high inside there. Even that building can be a trigger. Do you know that?
Yeah.
You all know that, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure in Delhi there are places like that.
Yeah.
The moment you go there, the trigger will start. Got it? Okay. That one, you see that big thing there? There's a sex show going on inside.
Okay.
Called a sex show. People pay money and they look, but a lot outside there, a lot of people are selling drugs. That's a bad place for people to be in recovery to be. All right? Okay. I am sure. Let me do an experiment. Be honest to me.
Yeah. Cookie. Promise.
When you saw that, did anybody feel a little craving, a little bit?
Yeah. Yeah.
Be honest.
I felt I want this.
You felt you were what?
I felt I want to see like that.
It's normal. It's very normal. But you have to quickly be aware that the thinking is beginning and the feelings starting to happen. You're on the train, get out. Okay? I'll give you an example, right? Somebody asked me how to stop the thinking. Okay? I'll give you an idea. You know the song Shafa, Shafa?
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
When you are negative, just sing the song in your head.
यहीं सी ज़मीन पर मिली नहीं वो ज़िंदगी के आईने को देखते ही खुद से प्यार फिर हुआ.
Okay. So what you have to do is whenever you are negative, in your head you can hum. And that will bring you back to recovery. It's normal to feel the craving. It's very normal. If you don't feel it, then I'm saying you're not human being. Okay? Remember I told you, if you want a place where you can be drug-free forever, go to the moon. You live in the moon. Then there's no triggers there. But as long as you are in Delhi or here, you're going to feel that. But when you sing the Shafa Home, or sometimes some people have the picture of their son or somebody in the wallet. They take out the wallet. They look at that. So they change the thought. When you change the thought, you change the feeling. When you change the feeling, you change the action. So you have...
I can back from that bad thinking, from
Yes.
that bad negative points.
Yes. Yes. That's a trick that recovery people use.
And remember the consequence of relapse.
Of course. After you sing the song, you come back to a safe place. You see, you can come back to Shafa in your mind. Obviously. Because you get high where? In your mind. The mind is like, you saw the picture, you felt the craving, right?
Yeah.
It's all happening in your mind. So it's called a competition of thoughts. A competition of thoughts. Okay?
Thought is more heavier on you.
Correct. Very simply, internal triggers are feelings and external are places. External you can touch. You know, the building, the bar. Internal you cannot touch, you just feel. So, anger is an internal trigger. Depression is an internal trigger. Loneliness is an internal trigger. Okay? Being tired, exhausted. Some people relapse because they are so exhausted. They are doing many things, many jobs. They're not, they're so tired. So when you notice when you're tired, you cannot think?
Yes. Stop thinking.
You stop thinking. And it's true, many people I know in America, because when they leave treatment, they want to make fast money, they do 3 jobs, 4 jobs. They're working, overtime. They're not eating, they're not sleeping, they're not meditating, they're not going to their AA meeting, they're not talking to anybody. And one morning, boom, they relapse. I have seen, listen, I have been doing this work for 35 years. I've seen many people relapse. That's why I designed this whole thing. Okay? That's why they call it HALT in AA. Hungry,
Anger, loneliness, tiredness.
hungry, angry, lonely, and tired. If you have these 4, it's a huge trigger. So what it means is, your job is to be able to recognize a trigger when you are here. So like you, right? When you saw the picture, you realize like, whoa, I better be careful of what I see. And because that's a trigger for me. For Ranjan, it's no problem. That is not a trigger for him. Because he's got what you call long-term recovery. Right? Now it's a process, right? To go from where you, how long have you been clean?
20 years.
How long have you been clean?
3 days.
3 days. It's going to take time, right? All right, that's the so relapse is a process, and recovery is a process too, right? Okay. All right. So and then there are outside factors and the inside factors. Remember the girlfriend example I gave you? That would be an inside factor. Okay, let's move on. Okay, now it gets the fun part. This, what I'm going to show you, is research, is science. Everything I teach here is about science. Right? Those psychologists who have studied relapse. This comes from the book that I read. And I know the man who wrote the book. Okay? So according to this research, there are 10 major triggers. Major. And I'm going to go it one by one. Now, each trigger doesn't mean the number 1 is the biggest. No. They're all the same. But it's different for different people. Maybe for you, the number 5 trigger will be the number 1 trigger. For you, the number 1 is not a problem. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Hey guys, are you following me or not?
Yes, sir.
Sometimes I worry now, I'm talking, and whether you are understanding me or not. You sure?
Yes, sir.
So if I give you an exam, you will pass it?
Shafa, Shafa, Shafa.